Through last year's strategic plan process and in conjunction with the Technology Board Advisory, a high priority was placed on revising the district's technology practices, specifically moving from the Bring Your Own Device, BYOD practice, to one that would ensure technology equity and access for all of our students. Throughout this school year, we've conducted the Technology Impact Study to inform decisions that will impact student learning and integrated use of technology for the foreseeable future. To participate in this study, teachers were identified by either membership on the Technology Board Advisory or by application. In total, 36 teachers participated, representing each school, grades 3 through 12, and the core content areas of math, science, social studies, and English language arts. The study was designated to keep learning at the forefront of decision-making, and for that reason, participants and one of their teaching partners, commonly referred to as professional learning communities, or PLCs, worked together to plan instruction while using different devices. As an example, a 5th grade PLC would plan together, but one teacher would use the iPad package and one would use the Chromebook package. This allowed teachers to develop instruction that was meaningful rather than focus on the assigned device to determine learning experiences. Those teachers with iPads were also equipped with Apple TVs and MacBooks to allow for seamless access of classroom learning equipment. Since the Chromebooks aligned with the current Lindbergh classroom technology, additional teacher resources were not needed in the study of Chromebooks. To ensure that the teachers in the study had access to both device options, midway through the study, PLC partners switched device packages so that if they started the year with Chromebooks beginning in November, they transitioned to iPads for the student experience. During this transition, our technology team surveyed teachers and students and met with teachers to get anecdotal feedback that would help support the process during round 2. At the end of January, after teachers and students had the opportunity to use both devices, we once again met with teachers and surveyed students and teachers to inform us about which devices were most appropriate for each grade span. In addition to the teachers and their assigned students who participated in the Technology Impact Study, 16 Lindbergh High School students participated to help us to determine home school connectivity, safety, and security. These 16 students represented each grade level at the high school and began the year with a parent and student meeting to understand their role and responsibility in the study. For the first 11 weeks of the school year, students were provided Chromebooks, and in November they switched to iPads. Having all the students on the same device for each round of the study allowed us to meet with them to get feedback and provide specific training on various topics. For example, during the Chromebook study, they had Lunch and Learns, where they brought their lunch and learned about the use of the stylus and Chrome extensions that could support their work. During the iPad portion of the study, they had sessions on apps that supported their learning. During our regular meetings with students, we were able to confirm that district web filters worked in their home environment. The focus of this study was twofold: providing equity for student technology access and ensuring high-quality blended learning experiences. Blended learning is a term that ensures technology integration for authentic learning, and one of our evaluation tools to gauge this was a survey of staff to identify how they integrated the International Society for Technology and Education, or ISTE, standards. Last May, and again throughout the Impact Study, teachers in the Impact Study completed the survey, identifying their instruction in the areas of empowering learners, where students leverage technology to take an active role in choosing, achieving, and demonstrating competency in their learning goals. Informed by the learning sciences. Digital citizenship, where students recognize the rights, responsibilities, and opportunities of living, learning, and working in an interconnected digital world, and act and model in ways that are safe, legal, and ethical. Knowledge construction, where students critically curate a variety of resources using digital tools to construct knowledge, produce creative artifacts, and make meaningful learning experiences for themselves and others. Innovative design, where students use a variety of technologies within a design process to identify and solve problems by creating new, useful, or imaginative solutions. Computational thinking, where students develop and employ creative strategies for understanding and solving problems in ways that leverage the power of technological methods to develop and test solutions. Creative communication, where students communicate clearly and express themselves creatively for a variety of purposes using the platforms, tools, styles, formats, and digital media appropriate to their goals. And global collaboration, where students use digital tools to broaden their perspectives and enrich their learning by collaborating with others and working effectively in teams locally and globally. As you can see from the data here, there was a significant increase in each of these areas from the pre-survey taken in May through the surveys taken during the study. Ultimately, the team found that no matter which device was selected, we increased learning opportunities for students in these areas that will help propel them to their success. Throughout the study, we supported teachers and listened to their feedback. And as you can see here, iPads afforded a range of learning opportunities that aligned with our district focus of the 4 C's: creativity, collaboration, communication, and critical thinking. Having access to these devices allowed our student learning to be transformed. But it wasn't just the iPads that had a positive impact. With the increasing use of our learning management system, Canvas, students found that the Chromebooks allowed them diverse experiences as well. They could use the Chromebook as a traditional laptop or transform it into a tablet. Of our 16 high school students, 14 of them, at the conclusion of the impact study, opted to continue the school year using Chromebooks. As a result of the work that occurred throughout the school year, the final results of the study were essentially unanimous. In grades 3 through 8, iPads will be provided to students, and at the high school, Chromebooks will be provided. One of the benefits of this dual system is the ability to provide students with diverse technological experiences. We know that flexible thinking is a skill that will serve students well, and having exposure to learning experiences with both an iPad and a Chromebook will provide opportunities for students to expand their experiences. Because moving from bring your own devices to an equitable blended learning platform is our priority, our timeline was fairly aggressive. This slide represents our original plan, which is now in revision due to COVID-19. We began this spring-summer with teacher devices. This has been especially important with the middle school staff since we are transitioning from a Windows-based platform to an Apple Mac OS system, and we want to ensure proper support and learning opportunities for our teachers and staff. In the fall, we will roll out Chromebooks to high school students, and while we originally planned to use the transition to second semester to begin rolling out middle school student iPads, that timeline has accelerated so that middle school students will begin the 2021 school year with their iPads. At the beginning of the 2021-22 school year, we will expand iPads to individual students in grades 3 through 5. The last phasing of this plan is to transition elementary teachers from Windows laptops to MacBooks. Over the last year and a half, the district has worked hard to align funding streams to priorities. And since it is a priority to ensure an equitable blended learning environment, we can transfer funds to cover the cost of these additional devices. What you see in these boxes is the yearly cost per grade span to provide individual students with either iPads or Chromebooks. These leases result in direct ownership of the devices at the end of the 4-year time span and serve to ensure a sustainable system where student devices can be replaced every 4 years to ensure their capabilities. It's important to note that by moving to an individual device for students in grades 3 through 12, we also reduce some technology costs by eliminating current laptop carts, resulting in an approximate savings of $200,000 per year. Because of our work with students who took personal devices home during the duration of the impact study, we've been able to determine that our on-site filters work at home as well, since it's been a priority that we ensure student access to appropriate sites only. Additionally, we plan to work with students during a boot camp upon receiving the devices to help them understand best practices in maintaining the devices as well as their personal safety. While we will help students learn how to protect devices, we are also realistic that accidents happen. And to help protect students from costly repairs, we will have a technology fee that provides basic insurance. Families and students will pay $20 per device. This amount will cover the first accidental damage incident, with each additional incident costing $10 more. So if I'm a student with 4 incidences, I will have paid $0 for the first time, $10 for the second, $20 for the third, and $30 for the 4th incident. A student whose device is lost or stolen is responsible for a $100 replacement cost, and any manufacturer issues will be fixed with no cost to the family or student. As we've discussed throughout this presentation, having equitable access to devices is essential for student success. And by ensuring that every student within a grade span has the same device, we provide equity. Additionally, we realize that not every family circumstance is the same, and for that reason, we will have a small number of hotspots available for families who lack internet access at home. We will also reduce the technology fee to $10 for students on free and reduced lunch. And if families with multiple students or special circumstances are unable to cover the costs, we will work with them to find solutions. Support for the increased volume of computers has been at the forefront of decision-making processes as well. To support this, white glove service will be included in the lease agreements. Having the vendor tag the devices, enroll the devices into the management system, and ensure upgrades allows our technology department to provide ongoing service for hard and software without increasing their workload. Additionally, a new class has been added to the high school program for next year, and 18 students have signed up to run the help desk, where they will provide both hardware and software support to students, teachers, and likely even parents. And while we want our help desk students to have experience with repairing the devices, having a warranty will help defray the cost and provide a backup system of support when repairs are needed. Throughout each of our buildings, we will have loaner devices available for those times when students may have forgotten their device or it is in need of repairs. As we roll out laptops, we recognize the importance of providing professional learning for our teachers, both in the technical aspects of the devices as well as the learning integration that is of utmost importance. Because the transition to iPads and MacBooks is significant, this will be a focus of professional learning, even as we support LHS Chromebooks and the instructional impact they will have. Because we are hoping to support the transition to MacBooks for our middle school staff prior to the start of the school year, we will begin training options prior to May 1st, Professional Learning Day, differentiating based on their skill level. Those who are already Mac experts will be offered a fast pass option once they demonstrate a few key competencies. They'll get their computer right away. Those without familiarity will begin training on a punch list of skills that need to be mastered, things such as connecting to Wi-Fi, Apple TV, etc. This spring training will be followed by summer courses that expand on the basics, and between now and through the first semester of school next year, we will continue to build expertise in our middle school impact study classrooms, beginning to develop building experts who will deepen the learning experiences for all of our students who have iPads. These leaders will share their expertise with colleagues as we begin to roll out iPads to students. Additionally, through the use of Apple Professional Learning Coaches, we will be able to continue to further the skills of our teachers. With both the middle school iPad and LHS Chromebook rollout, we will develop cohorts of teachers to learn skills to integrate instruction and support learning that relates to the ISTE standards we shared earlier. After gathering feedback and designing a draft of our rollout plan, we were able to garner feedback from the Technology Impact Study. During those conversations, it became apparent that engaging parents in the initial rollout was necessary for the understanding of this change, as well as the success of our students as they use devices for learning. For that reason, parents will participate in online video opportunities to learn more about the LHS Chromebook rollout, including how to access information related to Canvas and digital citizenship. Other feedback from the advisory included a discussion around who should take home devices. While the original plan was that only secondary students would take home the devices, there is interest and potential need for 4th and 5th graders to also take them home. We will continue to investigate that prior to our elementary rollout. Discussions around devices in summer also occurred, and the general consensus was that high school students should retain their devices over the summer, but elementary and middle school student devices should be returned. Thank you for supporting this process as we've worked hard to collaborate with teachers and students to make the best decisions in support of our student learning. If you have further questions, please contact any of us who have led or will continue to lead this project. Tara Sparks, Chief Academic Officer, Jana Parker, Director of Innovation and Learning, Dominic Jaggi, Director of Technology, Colin Davitt, Blended Learning Coordinator, and Doug Barton, STEM Coordinator. Thank you.